leading group, he also got a penalty at the end. The two that came off worst were Raul Zonzaren and also Jamie Ambrose. They got 15 seconds in total. So there are quite a few.
Yes, that would affect points, of course.
Yeah.
This being a 3-race championship where all 3 races take place this weekend.
And you get 35 for a win.
Yes.
Yes, and you get 1 for pole position, which went the way of Jarrett Clark, and you get 1 for the fastest lap as well. So yes,
but
we'll need your spreadsheet tomorrow.
Oh yes, no, it's already prepared.
Oh, good.
So I'm raring to go for that. What we do have for the grid, though, is cars formed up based on their second fastest qualifying time, isn't it?
It is. So
and then the third race will be the results of this race.
That's right. So they need to sort of keep out of trouble for track limits and anything else in this. You're quite right. Okay, I'll let you set off now to go and walk up to Parc Fermé. We've got 20 minutes of racing to come, which will just about do it. 55, Jarrett Clark then, on his 15th birthday. Pole position for race 1. He's on pole position for race 2, but he didn't win the first. He ended up only 5th. Let's see what he can do here. Second on the grid, the race 1 winner, therefore the championship leader, Lewis Goff. Third on the grid is number 18, Torin Byrne, and 4th, 95 of Noah Young. 5th is 75, Colin Cronin, and 6th on the grid, 73, Harry Bartle. 7th is 36, Sebastian Lusch, and starting 8th is 26, Jess Phillips. 9th on the grid, 22, Josh Watts, and 10th, number 3, Raul Zonzaren, who ultimately was only 17th in the first race with penalties applied. On the 6th row, 54, Riley Cranham, and 83, Remy Lake. On the 7th row, there's number 11, Henry Cameron, and 46 of Jacob Ashcroft. Row 8 on the grid, number 5, Emma Scarborough, and 67, Vlad Tomenchuk. And then the penultimate row has 74, Kai Beach, and 13, Savo Solonchenko, with the last row being 17, Luke Walton, and 8 of Jamie Ambrose. The race again is going to be over 20 minutes. We had a safety car in the first, and that ran to 17 laps, so 17-18 is probably going to be the target here. Jarrett Clark, as I say, is the driver on pole position and celebrating a 15th birthday, and went really well in qualifying, but got involved in a bit of a skirmish up at Beckett's, didn't he, in the first race, Alistair, so ended up only 5th.
Yes, it was. The whole race was very good indeed, but yeah, just that one incident where one car got sideways, which was Jarrett Clark, and that caused, I think, a knock-on. I'm not certain of this, but it looked to me as though it caused a bit of a knock-on, which took out 2 further cars, although all got going again. Just a bit messy through Beckett's.
Fastest lap earlier on in the day, done by Torin Byrne, a 1:11.6 lap record for these cars here. Josh Roundage going back 3 seasons now, 1:10.7. The Winter Series has had the likes of George Gamble, Carrera Cup GB champion, James Kellett, currently doing great things in GT World Challenge Europe, Jamie Caroline, Seb Priaulx, Adam Smalley as previous champions. Freddie Slater, who's been one of the stars of junior single-seater racing this year, winning the Formula Regional European title, race winner in GB3 after a great season. He was the 2022 Winter Series champion. And last year, Isaac Phelps, who went on to do good things in GB4 this year, he was the champion. And that's on top of the fact that you've got the national championship as well that runs through the summer. Quite a few drivers dip in and out of the Winter Series to gain experience or gain signatures for the following year. So up to the grid then they come. Jarrett Clark this time will want to try to get away, not get involved in any of the battles. They're great to watch, but they don't necessarily help one's results. So that's what kind of did for him before. Last car onto the grid is going to be Jamie Ambrose, so the grid is complete, although we did have 1 or 2 little bit second hand after the first race. They've all made it back to the grid, and we can look down the pit straight then, ready for the green flag to be shown. At the back it is. Now the drivers then look towards the lights. Got one going backwards. All of a sudden that was Savo Solonchenko, but he's in the right place I think now. So is everybody good to go? They are. The lights are red. Round 2 of the Ginetta Junior Winter Series then is go, and a good start made from pole position by Jarrett Clark. It's a good getaway then on the run down towards Copse Corner. Everybody away cleanly with number 75 Colin Cronin, who was delayed in race 1 trying to gain ground heading into Copse. He goes 4th, so it's Clark in the lead. It is the championship lead of the race 1 winner Lewis Goff 2nd, Torin Byrne is 3rd, and Cronin up into 4th place.
Yes, once again, like the first race, it's the grey car of Jarrett Clark that leads into Beckett's for the first time. But coming up the inside of Lewis Goff to take second place is number 18, Torrin Byrne. Very similar to what he did last time. A good start. Then Colin Cronin in fourth place, side by side for fifth place. The one on my side was Noah Young. The one on the other side completely blocked from my view. They were absolutely side by side.
It was that Ginetta G40, you know. So down they come for the first time. Jarrett Clark in the lead, and for second place on the inside line it is Lewis Goff. On the outside for third is Torrin Byrne. Colin Cronin trying to squeeze up the inside then, and he will go third, I reckon, in the yellow car. Yes, he does. So Cronin third. Down to fourth is Torrin Byrne. In fifth looks like being Harry Bartle, and then sixth is Noah Young as the cars come up towards Woodcote for the first time of asking, and it is going to be the man from pole position, Jarrett Clark, in the lead, but not by very much. Second is Goff, then Cronin third. Torrin Byrne almost pushing him past the pits then, and Torrin Byrne needs to dive to the inside going into Copse. Otherwise, Cronin's going to move across and defend, and oddly enough, Byrne doesn't even think about the move. So it's 4-1 pretty much for the race lead. You've got this big 16-wheel Ginetta in the lead of the race, at the very head of which is Jarrett Clark.
Still is, yes, but he's going to be passed on the inside, I suspect, by Lewis Goff as they come up into Beckett's. Yes, he is. Colin Cronin tries to get a piece of the action as well, with the gap opened up by Lewis Goff, but actually Cronin runs a little bit wide, allows Torrin Byrne through on the inside, but they are still side by side. But the group has not broken up really. We've got lots and lots of cars joining the back of this 16-wheel car in their lead.
And nose to tail then, the top two this time. It is now Goff ahead of Clark. Cronin to the inside for third place, goes through. So Colin Cronin ahead now of Torrin Byrne, ahead of Harry Bartle. Noah Young goes a little bit wide behind them and loses places, and he's all over the grass, and as he rejoins that causes a bit of mayhem. Cars having to scatter in avoidance. Right, the leaders coming to Woodcote, end of lap number 2. So Jarrett Clark did lead. Lewis Goff now does lead in the Family R Racing car, ahead of his teammate. It's still for Elite Motorsport Colin Cronin in third place. It is now Torrin Byrne fourth, Harry Bartle fifth, sixth is Jess Phillips, Raoul Zanzaran is up into seventh, Sebastian Lush is eighth, ninth it is Riley Cranham, and Noah Young has dropped back into 10th place, and way wide coming out of Copse Corner that time is Colin Cronin.
Yes, it looked like he was in a different county as he came up towards us, and that's lost him a little bit of ground, allowed Torrin Byrne to come up alongside. Byrne on the brakes, but one wheel on the grass, that wasn't going to work. So he stays in fourth place with Colin Cronin just ahead, but right behind the car of Torrin Byrne is Harry Bartle. He's there now, as he was in the first race, right up there in the mix. But the top two getting away, aren't they, Goff and Clark?
They are indeed. There was one rally crossing coming out of Beckett's that time as the R Racing duo working together, I think, to try to get away. Once they've built the gap, then they can start squabbling for the race lead. If they do it too early, it's just going to give the drivers behind the chance to tow themselves back into the mix. Torrin Byrne is still third. Colin Cronin going through in fourth place. Fifth, it is Harry Bartle. And then the top 6 being rounded out at the start of the lap by Jesse Phillips. We'll see whether the car has managed to survive as the leaders go through. And there's very little at the moment that suggests that Jarrett Clark is committing to making a move. Down towards Copse, sits in the wheel tracks then. Still, I think those two happy to work together and try to break away from the opposition. Having said all of that, it's only 9/10 that the margin second to third now stands at, because last time around, Byrne doing a personal best lap in third place.
And this time Colin Cronin is splitting the pace performance pair. They could work together as well, but Cronin is the outlier in these. Two for the lead and 2 for third and fifth, but Colin Cronin all on his own, number 75 in the Elite Motorsport car in that second place group of 3 cars. Then behind them is the Phillips and Zanzaran battle. But the leaders already down to Brooklands and looking a bit more racy this time.
Yeah, it's true enough. So we've got a battle for the lead, a battle for third, in which Cronin wants to get past Byrne. But again, those 3 need to stop fighting each other and get themselves up with the leaders. Then we can have a 5-way battle for honours. We've had 1/4 distance pretty much elapse as the R Racing duo emerges again from Woodcote Corner. Still with Lewis Goff in the lead. Jarrett Clark wanting a win for his birthday. And then in third place, Torrin Byrne now has managed to shake off Cronin by about 2 lengths. So Torrin Byrne possibly becomes the one to watch, because his last lap was quicker than the 2 ahead of him. So Byrne third, personal best lap, and he was edging away from Cronin going into Copse. Cronin needs to be careful with track limits as well after his wild moment a lap ago.
Well, Cronin's caught back up with Byrne again, now up at Beckett's, and in fact behind Harry Bartle is close behind Cronin, so those three have concertinaed back up again. Change for the lead coming out of Beckett's with a move on the inside for Jarrett Clark, but that does put him on the outside. No, it doesn't, because he's got ahead, a much better run through Beckett's than Goff, so Jarrett Clark actually is in the lead, approaching Brooklands left-hander.
He is indeed this time, so back into the lead goes Jarrett Clark, but Lewis Goff wants the lead back. In fact, you can tell that from the way that he was way up the curb on the inside of Brooklands. Track limits quite often are on the outside, but Brooklands is where drivers do take that little shortcut on the inside and try and ride the curb on the inside of the corner. A little bit wide out of Luffield though, Jarrett Clark, kicking a bit of dirt into the face of Lewis Goff behind him, all of which is bringing Torin Byrne back into the mix. He's taking Cronin with him, Bartle fifth, and as they go past the pits then, Clark to Goff, a tenth of a second. So it's every man for himself. They are teammates, but every driver, of course, has to, through their family, find the budget to go into this. So although you don't want to take your teammate out, there are certainly no team orders at stake. Up towards Beckett's they go, but that lead battle is growing, isn't it? It's nearly the full five now.
Yes, they've caught up now. I think the battle between Jarrett Clark and Lewis Goff has slowed them down a little bit on that last lap, and now Torin Byrne is right there already on this lap, and Colin Cronin probably 2 car lengths behind the car ahead, so Torin Byrne is the one that's most likely to challenge the two leaders.
He's going to challenge, I think, on the outside line, as Lewis Goff now has to make this decision. Does he attack for the lead? Does he defend for second place? All of a sudden, Colin Cronin thinks, right, they're all getting caught up. I've got a chance to gain ground here, and that brings Harry Bartle right up onto the tail of him as well. So we have now got the 5 race leaders as one as they come into Woodcote Corner to round out lap number 6. It is still just in the lead of the race then Jarrett Clark with Lewis Goff behind him. Torin Byrne, though, just can't quite stay with them through Woodcote, loses the length or so. Side by side for the lead, and it's going to be Goff on the outside line as they break for Copse, and he's going to go back in front, is he? No, not quite. So Jarrett Clark hangs on to it. Clark leading Goff second. Torin Byrne benefiting from that squabbling ahead. He is now again back on their tail in third. Cronin fourth and Bartle fifth.
And got a great tow as well as they come up towards Beckett's. Does he try for the inside? No, he doesn't, but somebody that does want to move is the one on the outside of Harry Bartle. He goes round the outside of Colin Cronin, but that probably will end up with Cronin taking that place back again on the exit. But Harry Bartle doesn't give up. He goes onto the grass in an effort to keep alongside, but in the end has to drop in behind. But it is now a 20-wheel Ginetta coming down under the bridge to Brooklands.
Yeah, there are more people in the race, the best of them being in 6th place, 54, which is Riley Cranham, but he's a long way back as the leader goes very, very deep into Brooklands. So that was Lewis Goff going wide. Jarrett Clark gets ahead of him, and now Torin Byrne on the outside line for Luffield. Tries to go all the way around the outside of Goff, can't do it, but Jarrett Clark takes full advantage of that, so he will lead into Woodcote. Cronin now comes up to have another go at Byrne as the leader comes to the end of lap 7. It is Jarrett Clark ahead, Lewis Goff second. Third is Byrne, fourth it is Cronin, fifth is Bartle. And then there's quite a big gap back too, as I say, the car of Riley Cranham in 6th place. Bearing in mind as well, Lewis Goff won the first race. He's second in this. He's also the best placed of the rookies. In other words, having not done a full season of Ginetta racing. And it's Clark in the lead right now.
But Cronin goes very wide into Beckett's, trying to get a position, but again he's on the outside of Byrne, so he can't make his way around there. He has to drop in behind and actually leaves the door open for Harry Bartle to come through. So Bartle is side by side, must be getting a wonderful tow from ahead, because 3 cars across the track ahead of them and splitting the air for them. So the 5 of them come down now, and it could be any one of these coming out of Brooklands in the lead.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's going to be Clark who leads in. Bartle and Byrne get themselves side by side, so Cronin gets shuffled back behind the 2 pace performance cars. Byrne is ahead of Bartle as they get up towards Luffield, so it's 2R racing, 2 pace and 1 elite for the leading 5. This is going to bring us almost to half distance. It's going to take you to the end of lap number 8. A lot of laps can be crammed in around here in 20 minutes. It's physical stuff, this, for the drivers, and Jarrett Clark leads. Lewis Goff goes to the outside line as they head past the pits. Now it's getting just a little bit more fractures, I would suggest. Clark making that car slightly wider, but Lewis Goff on the outside line tries to have a go for the race lead, mindful that Torin Byrne is right there behind him. And as they come out of the right-hander of Copse Corner, it's still Harry Bartle, 4th and 5th. Right there as well is Colin Cronin.
And up to Beckett's this time, the wide line being taken by Torrin Byrne this time, trying to outbrake round the outside of Beckett's, but that does leave the door open. He goes incredibly wide and drops back to 5th, so that was a bad move there from Torrin Byrne. He was looking to get second, ended up 5th, but I think it may even be 4 abreast as they come down the straight now, with Colin Cronin back in with a chance of getting up into 2nd place.
I think it was Clark and also Goff that sort of outbraked themselves and went wide, and with Byrne being on the outside of them, he had nowhere to go. We've got one rather battered car off the circuit, but it is Jarrett Clark in the lead now, with Colin Cronin up into 2nd place. In 3rd, it's now become Harry Bartle. In 4th place, it is Lewis Goff, and 5th, Torrin Byrne. He had got himself up into 2nd, but then by being hung out to dry on the outside and others running wider, he just got squeezed onto the grass, and that's cost him. So it's Clark leading. Now Cronin comes up to see what he can do, and we're going to go safety car. So there is a penalty board being applied, but I can see a safety car board as well, and I did say there was a car off the road.
Yes.
And so the safety car is being deployed, and that might help the likes of Goff and Byrne to bring them back into the mix.
And the car that's off the road is on the exit of Beckett's. The driver, I'm pleased to say, is out of the car with the marshals, perfectly okay. The car looking very sorry indeed. Although Ginettas do tend to undress themselves, don't they, when they hit something, because they're all plastic. But a fair bit of damage there at the front of the car. And I think it may be Revy Lake.
It is.
Yes. Right, thank you. Yes, I wasn't 100% sure because the number has been obscured.
No, it is Revy Lake's car, you're quite right. This might take a little bit of shifting. If you remember the earlier race, the safety car we needed for about half a lap, that's all, but this might take a little bit longer. I'm trying to see who it is that's being shown this 5-second penalty board, because again, the information is never offered to us on the timing screen, but I can't see a number, and as yet nothing has come up on the timing screen with an exclamation mark either, just to complicate life. But anyway, somebody is being given a penalty, one assumes for track limits. So the race leaders come by.
The penalty is for number 17.
Right.
And it is a 5-second penalty for Luke Walton.
Okay, thank you. I was about to say I'm fearful it might be for Colin Cronin because we've seen him go wide at least twice at Copse, but Luke Walton it is then that gets that.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Breakdown Bob have arrived, and Hillary with the rope, Bob on the I think will be the crane to get that car off the side of the road.
You're right about how they undress themselves. So once you move the front section of bodywork, it sort of looks worse than it is really, but there's a bit of rear damage that's been done. So
yes, apologies for not actually seeing that happen. I was concentrating on the leaders going down under the bridge and then found that car parked on the grass, so he must have spun off on the outside of Beckett's and hit the barriers there.
So Revy Lake's car being removed. All of this eats into the 20-minute race. We've got 6 3/4 minutes on the clock, but it keeps the race going, albeit under controlled conditions like this. So the drivers now working their way up around the right-hander of Luffield. The light's still on top of the safety car. So race order 55, Jarrett Clark leads the way from 75, Colin Cronin, and in 3rd place 73, Harry Bartle. Was Goff from Byrne from Jess Phillips in the earlier race, so a very different top 3. Jess Phillips currently in 7th. So the Silverstone BMW safety car goes by, and everybody in good order. Just looking to see where one or two of the drivers that went well in race 1 are to be found. Noah Young down in 9th, he got roughed up early on. Josh Watts down in 10th place, although he fell away in the first race, didn't he, as well, because of a penalty. So the penalty for Luke Walton's going to put him to the back, and we've lost Revy Lake anyway. We've got 5 3/4 minutes of the race still to go as the clear-up operation continues over on the outside of Beckett's. But the car now on the flatbed, and with marshals scampering back to post, just making sure the car is secured, and then it can be hopefully fairly swiftly driven away. The other good thing, of course, about Silverstone, and especially that Beckett's area, Alistair, is there are lots of vehicle access roads, left or right.
That's right, yes. There's one halfway down the Wellington Straight just before the bridge, which may be open, and that would probably be where Bob will go. But as you say, yes, lots of space. And the clerk of the course will be on the phone to the safety car saying, just back off a bit, because if we can get this car cleared before he comes round onto the Wellington Straight, then the lights can go out this time.
Yeah, well, the breakdown track, I think he's going to the outside of the track before the vehicle bridge, and the safety car is coming over the line at Woodcote.
Yeah, that'll be clear in time then.
Yep.
So the lights should go out before the bridge. In fact, Bob, is he? No, he's decided to cross the track and go through the entrance I suggested just before the bridge, because there were no cars. He'd obviously, they have a radio in the truck, so they know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Yep, the safety car just coming out of Copse.
So it can extinguish its lights this time. We can go racing. 17, Luke Walton. Apart from the fact that he's got this time penalty, he was a long way back anyway. So he's kind of being hit with a double whammy. He's not even on the back of the queue under the safety car and still gets the 5-second penalty. So the safety car comes out of Beckett's. The lights, we hope, will
They've just gone out, yes.
Yep. So we can go back racing this time. We are at just under 4 minutes. A flying lap is about the 71-second mark if you're at the head of the queue. So we're not that far away then from the race getting back underway. Maybe 3 more laps we can squeeze in as the safety car will come to the pit lane. It's up to Jarrett Clark then now as the race leader to control the pace. He's got them all slowed right down at Brooklands, ready to, if you like, pull the pin to accelerate away. It's up to him now to decide when to go, but once you accelerate, you've got to keep going. You can't go and slow, otherwise accidents are caused behind. So we are still at a very slow pace. The longer he takes to do this, the fewer laps he might get into the race, and the fewer laps he has to defend for. But now, coming out of Luffield, Jarrett Clark accelerates away then, so the Australian-British driver on his 15th birthday accelerates over the line. We get the race back underway, just over 3 minutes on the clock, and a good restart by Jarrett Clark then. He's 3/10 up the road from Colin Cronin as they go down towards Copse Corner. Turning out of the right-hander then, this is lap 14, and so Clark, Cronin, Bartle, Goff, Byrne, that's the top 5.
And it's Cronin who's the closest to the leader. In fact, in 3rd place is Bartle, not I was going to say not challenging, but just a bit later on the brakes than Colin Cronin, and closes right up. But out in the lead is Jarrett Clark, as you say, a very good restart indeed. Colin Cronin now coming under pressure already from Harry Bartle in 3rd place, and in turn Bartle is being challenged by Goff. Goff all the way back from the lead to 4th place now.
So at the moment you've got Jarrett Clark escaping, because 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th are all having their own big battle, with Colin Cronin defending the inside line, Harry Bartle on the outside, then it's Goff, then it is Byrne tucked up behind him. There's another one that we've lost into the gravel as well, I'm afraid. So 2 minutes are on the clock, but another car off the road. We'll come to that in a second as the leader on his own pretty much now. Jarrett Clark, after a really good restart lap, comes up towards the timing line. So Jarrett Clark goes through. Cronin versus Bartle for 2nd place. It's at Copse where the car in question has come to grief, so there's a flashing yellow light going down towards Copse Corner. That takes away an overtaking opportunity, and as they file through the corner now, Clark already ahead by 0.6 of a second.
And we've actually got yellows at Beckett. Oh, we've got the car you've seen, I think, is at Beckett's, not Copse.
Right. Unless
there's another one at Copse, of course, because we've got yellows up here as well. So unfortunately, that's taken away pretty much half of the circuit in terms of overtaking opportunities. And the leader, Colin Cronin, getting pushed by, in the nicest possible way, by Harry Bartle as they come out of Copse Corner, out of Beckett's corner. But Jarrett Clark has a huge lead.
And the one that's in the gravel up with you is Noah Young, and the yellow flag zone starts on the way into Copse, ready for Beckett's. So Clark leading the way, but Harry Bartle trying to go around the outside of Colin Cronin for 2nd. It doesn't work, so Cronin is 2nd, and all of this squabbling is just enabling Jarrett to pull away even further. He's coming up to start the last lap then, and when Paul Trustwell speaks to him at the end of this race, there might be birthday cake available, because Jarrett, on his 15th birthday now, is 1 lap away from a first win. Checkered flag goes out early with 40 seconds on the clock, but the flag goes out early to him, possibly because of that car in the gravel up at Beckett's. But the checkered flag thrown early by about 40 seconds or so. So it is a win then for Jarrett Clark from Colin Cronin, and then Harry Bartle 3rd, 4th goes the way of Lewis Goff, the race 1 winner, 5th Torrin Byrne, and 6th in the end Josh Watts. But the checkered flag going out early, as I say, I can only assume it's because of the car in an awkward place up at Beckett's.
Yeah, I think we'd have had a safety car anyway, so better to just stop the race. Otherwise, we'd have just finished another lap under the safety car, because that car is just on the edge of the gravel, so just a small amount of grass between that and the track.
Okay, so our second Ginetta Junior Winter Series race of the day, and a different winner, and on his birthday as well. Honours go then to Jarrett Clark from Colin Cronin in second place. Harry Bartle takes third, fourth to Lewis Goff, fifth Torrin Byrne and Josh Watts in sixth, seventh to Jess Phillips, eighth Raoul Zanzara, ninth Henry Cameron, and the top 10 rounded out by Jacob Ashcroft. The winning rookie again, Lewis Goff, taking that fourth place, and second in the rookie class, Jess Phillips, third Jacob Ashcroft, 10th overall. So Colin Cronin might be the grumpy one, thinking he was denied a chance to attack for the race lead, but he was going to be denied that, whether it was an early checkered flag or a safety car, from what Alistair is suggesting up at Beckett's. But Jarrett Clark wins from Colin Cronin and Harry Bartle taking third place, and that illustrates how competitive it is, isn't it, with a totally different top three in that race than what we had in the first round of the championship earlier on in the day. The deciding race in the Ginetta Junior Winter Series will be tomorrow, and the Ginettas should be on track at about 10:50 for their final 20-minute race. We've got two more races to go today, the first of which will be the Carl Hamer Trophy pre-final, 8 laps coming up for the pre-82 cars, and then the Janet Cesar Memorial Trophy pre-final to round out the day. So the Ginettas all go to Park Fairmate because the scrutineers want early access to the cars, but there is Paul Trussman.
I'm here.
It's their birthday cake, because you've got a 15-year-old on his birthday winning a race.
I know. I was just trying to think back to what I did on my 15th birthday, and to be honest, I can't quite remember, but I'm sure alcohol wasn't involved.
Nor were Ginettas, probably.
Oh, well, yeah, no, Ginettas were definitely not involved. It might have been a bit of scale extric, as you were saying.
Yeah.
But Jarrett then, very happy with that, I'm sure. He's got his helmet off. He's already given the thumbs up to his team. Big grin. Tucks his helmet away in the passenger seat of the car. That's where it belongs. Jarrett, happy birthday. That's a good way to celebrate, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a good race. Bassing at the start. Tried to break away with my teammate. We couldn't really, so it ended up being a bit of a battle. Then the safety car came out, and after that I just managed to break away and maintain the gap.
I mean, you didn't really get a big challenge at any point, did you? Whereas in the first race, you were starting from pole position, and it all went kind of a little bit pear-shaped in the first race.
Yeah, it was good to come back from the first race with an unfortunate crash, so yeah.
But, of course, you've got to do it tomorrow. That's where the Winter Series will be decided, whether it goes your way or someone else's. Have you got a plan? Because you've won this race. That puts you on pole for the... I'll make it 3 poles at the end. You looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I'll just take the race as it comes. Probably try and do what I have been trying to, breaking away with my teammate Lewis. So we'll just take it as it comes. Hopefully we can end up on top.
And tonight, celebration or early night and get to bed early?
Probably an early night to prepare for tomorrow. So yeah.
You're only 15 once.
Yeah. Well, just got to wait, I guess, for tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Best of luck for that. Where's Colin Cronin? He was in his car and then he escaped. I think he's over there. Colin? Where's Colin Cronin? Colin! Hang on.
I can hear you getting your steps in here, Paul, as you tramp around. He might be up at the exit gate.
He is, you see. Colin, that's second place, which is, again, better than you went in the first race, so you must be pleased with that.
Yeah, the first race went not great. Ended up in a big enough crash. So, yeah, that race there struggled a bit, to be honest. Just didn't have much pace at all, and just kind of damage limitation, really. That was kind of the best we could get.
Well, second place is pretty good limitation of damage, in my view. So tomorrow, you're going to look for a win, are you, from the outside of the front row?
Yeah, we'll give it a go. Try and get into the lead and make it a fight and see what we can do.
And plans for next year already? You're thinking about 2026?
I think it'll be GT racing. Just don't know what, where, when, really.
Okay, I hope it goes well. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, well done to Colin Cronin. And then our third place finisher, Henry Bartle, who could be anywhere. You see, I mean,
there are people in green and white overalls sort of ahead of you if you go back
Yes.
along the fence. I'm not saying they are.
no, well, you see, that's the trouble, you see. I don't actually know what Henry Bartle looks like. Who's Henry?
Harry, even.
Harry Bartle, sorry. Harry Bartle, it's you. Sorry, Harry. Third place, but you're going for consistency, looking for wins. How was your race?
Well, didn't start off great. It was a bit slow at the start, and then as the race went on, I made a few moves. Safety car came out, and after that, I got stuck behind Colin, who was defending, so didn't have a chance for the win, and couldn't get past second, so I had to settle for third. And the first race came third as well, but I got a track limits penalty, so going to the last race, it should be close.
How do you find the Silverstone national layout? Because you don't race on this during the regular season, do you, on the national circuit?
You do plenty more laps, so it's safety cars don't matter as much. You get more racing. Toe is massive, so it's not more of a racing track compared to a pace track. So it should be good.
What's your favourite corner here?
Turn 3.
Oh, hang on, where's turn 3? Beckett's?
Yeah, onto the back straight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They've got corner names here at Silverstone. You don't call them numbers.
I don't know the names, so yeah.
Okay, that's your job for the next week. Learn the corner names at Silverstone. Well done, Harry, third place.
Thank you.
Congratulations then to our 3 wins. We found them all in the end.
Well done, Paul.
You see, Harry is one of the few that doesn't have his name on his back.
Oh, I see.
A lot of them have their names on them, see, which helps enormously.
Your conversation about corner names and numbers.
It does annoy me.
Well, it also reminds me of the time I went to the Spanish Grand Prix. The first year it was on the streets around Valencia. And I arrived sort of halfway through Friday and walked into the press room, and it was the press conference that Bob Constanduros was hosting. And somehow, presumably because it was a new circuit, it was all turn 1, turn 2, and so on and so on. And Bob was trying to explain to Fernando Alonso that at Alton Park in the UK, there's a corner called Knickerbrook. And if you've ever wondered what the example of utterly vacant looks like, it was Fernando Alonso's expression as he was trying to compute what Knickerbrook meant and why anybody would want to be telling him about it. But yeah, I think in certain worlds, corner numbers will suffice. But here, yeah, we'll stick to the names, won't we?
I think so.
Yes.
Well, especially you have so many different configurations that turn 1 on one circuit becomes a different number on other circuits.
It's true.
It?
It's true.
Yes.
Yes.
You've got to be sharp.
Right, on that note...
Where do we go from here, David? I've lost the thread.
Formula Ford.
Oh, good.
Next. We'll come to those in a moment. Formula Ford will be next. That's the end of our second round of the Ginetta Junior Winter Series. They are back on track tomorrow with a win apiece then to Lewis Goff and his teammate Jarrett Clark. We'll do some number crunching as well in readiness for the showdown tomorrow. We'll have a very quick break and then look forward to our final 2 races of the day for the Walter Hayes Trophy in a few minutes.